Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm getting going early this morning. Now let me tell you what, with everything that's going on in crypto, with interest rates being raised, with all of the stuff going on in finance, with banks collapsing, there's not anything that's more important than the video that you're looking at right here. This is Russia and China have been meeting this week, and what these guys are saying in this tiny little clip right here about the what hasn't been done in 100 years, what they're talking about is the replacement of the dollar as the world reserve currency. Now, I'm not saying that happens right this second, but that is what they've been preparing for. I've said on this channel before, I was told a long time ago that XRP was created to prevent World War III and to replace the petrodollar. The petrodollar is what gives us our standard of living. Watch this. Change hasn't happened in 100 years.
Сейчас перемены, которые не было в течение 100 лет. Там, где вместе двигаем эти перемены. Берегите, пожалуйста, дорогой друг.
Okay, so this is what's been going on. Russia becomes a resource colony for China, and the yuan will be the main currency of trade in the country by the end of 2023. Russia offers China natural resources in exchange for support. Then it goes, Russia down here. Putin said during the meeting with Xi, intends to provide uninterrupted oil supplies to China as well as sharp. So they're trying to replace the petrodollar. That's what this is. Do you remember this video I played for you probably a year ago?
Supply and demand. Why the petrodollar is important, it causes a demand for the US dollar. A lot of Americans don't realize that over 70% of all the $100 bills in the world are actually outside of the US. There's more $100 bills in Russia than there are in America.
This stockpile of US dollars in countries around the world is because oil is bought and sold using the greenback.
If oil starts trading in non-petrodollars, such as gold or a basket of currencies, or if China and Russia start trading in yuan and ruble rather than US dollars, that demand isn't there. And the way of life for the average American will be done. It will be worse than the Great Depression.
Okay, that's why that's so important. Now listen to, this guy's name is Gregory, I'm drawing a blank on his last name. Watch this clip from yesterday.
The VIX, the volatility index, cratered like 11%. You got crude oil up 2.75%. Let's talk about XRP. All right, my XRP friends out here. How about a 25% gain today on XRP? That's pretty incredible. Bitcoin over 28,000. Gold took a hit, falling about 2%. Silver took a hit as well, falling about 1%. What's interesting about that is relative to the dollar was kind of flat. Okay, roughly, almost just slightly negative with regard to the relative strength of the dollar. Now, the 10-year yield, 3.6, MMRI higher. Okay, so it's an interesting paradox we have here. But, we're paying attention to all this stuff going on. Look, I can't tell you for how long this guy and all of us here have covered the instability here in the debt market, which could will lead up to this, a locking up of the entire system. You remember the word they started to use, I think it was yesterday, credit flow, credit flowing through the markets, debt, liquidity, all the same thing, credit flowing through the economy as well. We got a pretty stark warning, and we don't need these warnings from these blank SHIT dog blank institutions here. Bank of America is saying here, I have it written down. Bank of America is warning of a systemic credit event. Now, those of you that may not know what that is, did that sound like a positive thing to you? Warning of a systemic credit event? What they're talking about is a systemic debt event, an implosion of the debt market.
All right. Implosion of the debt market, systemic credit event. Now, this is, my thing is XRP and gold, and Glint's one of my sponsors. This way I can have spendable gold in my Glint account. I have a debit MasterCard so that I can literally spend grams of gold on a meal or at the grocery store. Link to that's in the very top of the description. I also buy physical gold. And then, of course, my XRP, because I believe XRP is going to be a major part of the changeover of the system. I believe XRP as a bridge currency is the compromise, is the Chinese-Russian compromise. That's what I believe. Dark Defender, crypto doesn't care about the Fed anymore. Hikes or dikes doesn't matter. People said crypto always follows the markets, mocked us when we said next time it will be different. XRP to 54 cents. New analysis will follow. And then we had this yesterday evening. I was actually watching my son pitch last night when this came across. My son actually beat, my son's team's a 3A, which means it's a smaller school in baseball, in high school baseball. And his team played a 7A, which means they've got a much larger school, many more players to choose from. And my son, this is the first time they beat this team in 5 years. And my son pitched, and they never scored a run on him in 7 innings. I think he threw 79 pitches. Brian Armstrong. Today, Coinbase received a Wells notice from the SEC focused on staking and asset listings. A Wells notice typically precedes an enforcement action. 2 years ago, the SEC reviewed our business in detail and approved Coinbase to go public. Our S1 clearly explained our asset listing process and included 57 references to staking. Coinbase runs a rigorous asset review process. So the same agency that lets Coinbase go public so that agency's friends over there at the SEC can bank all of their money on the IPO. If you remember when Coinbase went IPO, of course, SEC has to allow them to do so. And when they did, all of those original stockholders, most of them sold out within 30 days. I remember it like yesterday. And many of those people are ex-SEC. Bill Hinman's there, by the way. I don't think he was there then. Then this is their general counsel, and he did a thread too. Coinbase received Wells notice. After years of asking for reasonable crypto rules, we're disappointed that the SEC is considering courts over constructive dialogue. But if the courts are required, so be it. We'll defend the rule of law. And the problem is that you're going to do that for the next 2 or 3 years, Coinbase. And you didn't lift a finger to help Ripple, by the way. Well, here's John Deaton warning everybody back July 22nd, 2022.
Liz, I went on record to say I believe Gary Gensler is going to sue an exchange, whether it's Coinbase or Binance or another exchange in the United States by the end of the year.
All right. And then there was this. This is one of the .eth gang. This is a lawyer at Consensus. He says this Coinbase lawsuit will take forever, especially if there are facts to fight over. And oh boy, I believe me, Coinbase will find some 90% chance it goes up on appeal. However, it plays out at the trial court level. Gary is gone in 2 years max. He doesn't care. The lawsuit is the goal. That sounds like that time John Deaton said the lawsuit is the weapon. The lawsuit was being used as a weapon. And I said, newsflash, .eth gang, they're finally figuring out what John Deaton has tried to tell them for over 2 years, while they sat on the sideline giving zero help to Ripple because they thought it was just Ripple. And Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, who I've heard were making fun of Ripple behind the scenes when the case dropped against them. To quote Al Pacino from Son of a Woman, F you too. Those guys, I don't feel sorry for those guys. Then David Marcus, who used to be with PayPal, he's the guy that announced PayPal Galactic, by the way, and then went on to be involved in Libra, which became, what was it called? It starts with a D, not Dima. It was called, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, from the very beginning, Brian Armstrong made the decision that Coinbase should play by the rules, engage with regulators, and I said, so did Ripple. Don't remember him saying anything about that. And then I said, I was making the IPO point in one of my own tweets. And then Mr. B drops it like it's hot. I'll take things that didn't age well for $50, Alex. This is from the Coinbase page. In light of the SEC's action against Ripple Labs, Inc., trading in XRP has been suspended as of January 19th, 2021. Now look at this, folks. You can't make this stuff up. I'm sorry, but I just had to get this off my chest, and I copied in their attorney and Brian Armstrong. Do you realize you could literally be days away from finding out that the only digital asset you're allowed to have on your platform is XRP and the tokens built on it? If you have any honor left, you should change your handles to .xrp if that happens. It's the right thing to do. And then Yasin Mubarak says, you know what would be a huge middle finger to the SEC right now, Brian Armstrong? Relisting XRP. Stuart Alderati came in out of nowhere and says, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And Anders L picked up on this Craig DeWitt tweet. Craig DeWitt used to work at Ripple. I met him in Singapore. Nice guy, smart guy, about 6'4". XRP, I don't look up at people usually, but I was looking up at him. XRP, the base pair on all U.S.-based crypto exchanges. XRP, the only crypto U.S. banks and financial institutions could safely invest in and use. That's what he's talking about. He's not mentioning Bitcoin. Now, here's Craig DeWitt's actual thread. With Coinbase Wells notice from the SEC and the chance of a big Ripple court win, XRP could become one of the very few assets available for trading in the U.S. He goes on. This guy, he says, it's when the SEC walks into your office and starts flipping tables. Then he goes on, a Ripple win would make XRP possibly the only cryptocurrency with legal certainty in the United States. Where have you heard that before? We've been saying that for a while. That has big implications for exchanges trying to navigate the current lack of clarity regarding which assets they can list. And then this guy says, if XRP gets legal clarity, it's not going to be hard for others to accomplish the same. The going rate is $100 million price tag plus 2 years. And that's the fact, Jack. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family that Craig DeWitt is exactly over the target. Thanks.